visit to the United Kingdom at the invitation of Prime Minister Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer. Prime Minister is accompanied by a high-level delegation comprising the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, the Commerce and Industries Minister, Shri Piyush Goyal, and National Security Advisor, Shri Ajit Doval, as well as an official and business delegation. Prime Minister landed in the UK yesterday and received a traditionally warm and festive welcome by representatives of the Indian community in the UK. Earlier this morning, Prime Minister was hosted by Prime Minister Starmer at the Chequers estate, the official country residence of the Prime Minister of the UK. The two leaders spent nearly 3 hours together this morning, during which they held restricted and delegation-level talks, including over lunch. The two leaders had the opportunity to review the entire gamut of issues in the bilateral relationship and also to discuss regional and global issues of mutual interest. The Prime Minister is scheduled to call on His Majesty King Charles III at Sandringham Estate in a short while from now. At Chequers, as you would all be aware, the highlight and the headline really from this visit was the signing that Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Starmer oversaw of the historic India-UK Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement between the Commerce and Industries Minister, Shri Piyush Goyal, and the UK Secretary of State for Business and Trade, Mr. Jonathan Reynolds. This landmark agreement will significantly increase trade and investment and economic cooperation between the two countries by lowering tariffs in key sectors, including labor-intensive sectors in India like textiles, leather, footwear, agricultural products, marine products, sports products, toys, gems and jewelry, and others. Apart from trade and investment, it would also strengthen innovation and technology collaboration. The two sides have also agreed to negotiate a double contribution convention, which will enter into force along with the free trade agreement and will facilitate professionals and service providers on both sides and reduce the cost of doing business in both countries. Documents related to the agreement are available online, and you may wish to refer to them for further details about the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement. In addition, the two leaders also engaged informally with leading CEOs of business enterprises of the two countries. These CEOs represented key and relevant sectors of the respective economies. They were from the fields of health and pharmaceuticals, gems and jewelry, automobiles, energy, manufacturing, telecom, technology, IT, ITES, logistics, textiles, and financial services. All the business leaders expressed great satisfaction at the conclusion of the free trade agreement, which they were confident would unlock several opportunities for businesses in both countries and lead to greater economic collaboration between them. In addition to the free trade agreement, which, as I said, is the headline from this visit, there were other deliverables as well during this visit, and I would just like to highlight 4 of those today. In order to infuse higher ambition and renewed momentum into the comprehensive strategic partnership between the UK and India, both leaders today adopted the India-UK Vision 2035 document, which will steer the relationship for the next 10 years with a focused and time-bound program of action and initiatives in key pillars of bilateral action between the two countries, such as economy and growth, technology and innovation, defense and security, climate action and clean energy, education, and people-to-people ties. The India-UK Vision 2035 will also be available online, and I encourage you to refer to the document for details. Second, both leaders welcomed today the adoption of the Defense Industrial Roadmap, which will open up enormous opportunities for joint collaboration for defense industries of both sides. Third, just this morning, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the Central Bureau of Investigation of India and the UK National Crime Agency. And fourthly and finally, both leaders also expressed great happiness at the increasing collaboration in new and emerging technologies between the two countries, particularly telecom, AI, and critical minerals. This is being steered under the Bilateral Technology Security Initiative, the TSI, which incidentally is having its first birthday today. It has completed 1 year. And a statement on the progress of the implementation of the TSI has also been issued by both sides today. The two leaders also discussed the deepening of partnership between India and the UK in the education sector, perhaps one of the most exciting sectors for cooperation in the coming years, and they welcomed the opening in India recently, just last week as a matter of fact, of the campus of the Southampton University in Gurugram. It's the first such foreign university campus to be opened in India under the new education policy of India, and at least five more UK universities are in the process of opening similar campuses in India. Two leaders also acknowledged the valuable contribution of the dynamic Indian diaspora in the United Kingdom, which is a living bridge that connects both our countries. The leaders also had the opportunity to discuss at some length the menace of terrorism. Prime Minister Modi thanked Prime Minister Starmer for the strong support and solidarity extended by the United Kingdom to the people of India in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack. Both leaders expressed a commitment to strengthen the global fight against terrorism. It was noted that extremism and radicalization pose a threat to both societies, and that there was need to further enhance bilateral collaboration and cooperation to deal with these scourges of terrorism, extremism, and radicalization. Prime Minister Modi also sought the UK's cooperation to bring to justice economic offenders and fugitives from Indian law. Finally, I should say, Prime Minister Modi invited Prime Minister Starmer to pay his maiden visit to India as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at his earliest convenience. Prime Minister Starmer has accepted the invitation, and we will now work out the details bilaterally. I mentioned earlier Prime Minister's last engagement in a short while from now at Sandringham Estate. During this engagement, he will hand over to His Majesty the King a sapling as part of the tree plantation program that the Prime Minister has pioneered back home in India, Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, Plant for Mother. This will be planted in Sandringham Estate during the planting season this autumn. You would have heard also the Prime Minister speak during the engagement with the media earlier this morning, and in their private conversation as well. The Prime Minister conveyed the condolences to the families of the victims of the Air India air crash recently. Many of them were UK nationals, and the Prime Minister expressed his condolences at the losses that had been suffered. Let me stop there. If there are any questions, I would be happy to answer those.
Floor is open now. As you ask your question, please do identify yourself and your organization. We start with you, Sriram. Yeah, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Foreign Secretary. Sriram Lakshman from The Hindu. I wanted to ask you about the Pahalgam terror attacks. There was a parliamentary delegation here last month hoping to convey India's position and response to those. And I wanted to ask, out of today's meeting, has there been any indication there'll be a change in the UK government's response to such situations if they were to recur? Question one. And if I may, a quick question. Was the United States discussed in the Trump administration? Because India and the UK have both been discussing trade with the Trump administration, and there's kind of a retrenchment of the United States under the Trump administration from multilateralism. Does that kind of bring interests of the UK and India closer together? Was that discussed at all?
Vishal.
सर मैं विशाल पांडे हूँ एबीपी न्यूज़ से। मेरा सवाल ये है कि एफटीए होने के बाद सर इस तरफ एफटीए होने के बाद भारत की इकॉनमी कितना बूस्टअप करेगी और जो अलग अलग सेक्टर्स हैं खासतौर पर कृषि के क्षेत्र में किन चीज़ों का ध्यान भारत ने रखा है ताकि जो हमारे किसानों की तमाम चीज़ें रही हैं उसे ख्याल में रखा गया एफटीए करते हुए?
Gautam, you have a question?
Gautam from DD India. Just wanted to ask, in terms of congratulations, first of all, getting the FTA across the line, especially Mr. Srinivas, and to you itself, just wanted to ask, in terms of what other spin-off benefits do you expect, out of this FTA once it comes into effect, where investments are concerned, people-to-people ties are concerned, overall business between the two countries is concerned?
Please.
Hi, I'm Rupanjana from Bhartaman and Asian Voice. How will India ensure the free trade agreement is delivering on its intended goals over the time? Will there be a joint review committee or any committees as such?
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello, Naomi Canton, Times of India. I'd like to know a bit more about the services sector in the free trade agreement. Which sectors the UK has now got access to and which sectors it hasn't? I understand possibly legal services is not part of it. And will you look at liberalising any future services sectors in the future after this FTA? And also, could you speak a bit about the agreement on tackling organised crime and illegal migration and this agreement between the NCA and the CBI?
So we can take these questions.
Well, I think 80% of the questions are on the FTA, so I will request Satya to answer those. Let me just respond to the first question and then get out of Satya's way. On Pahalgam, we saw a very firm response from the United Kingdom, a condemnation of terrorism. This remains an important subject of discussions between the two sides at all levels. As I mentioned, it was discussed between the Prime Ministers today as well. And I think there is a fair degree of identity of views on the importance of collaboration against what is a global scourge. And there is already close cooperation between India and the UK at multiple levels, the official levels, and between the concerned authorities on law enforcement authorities on the two sides as well. We expect that this will continue in coming times. With regard to discussions related to the United States, look, we are in the UK. We are discussing a free trade agreement between India and the United Kingdom. So you will understand if I say that the focus was on that, fair and square. Naturally, the overall environment globally of world trade was referred to. But on that front, what I would emphasize is that this underlines even more the significance of the India-UK FTA. For an agreement as significant as this to be achieved at this point in time is the really important message to take away from today's events. So that's what I would say on that issue. On this last point, the MOU that's been signed between the CBI and the National Crime Agency of the UK, it is intended to combat instances of corruption, of serious fraud, and organized crime. There has been some cooperation on that, and we are able to now institutionalize this cooperation. Let me turn to Satya to address the questions related to the free trade agreement.
Yeah, free trade agreement, I mean, the CETA, India-UK CETA, first and foremost, it provides a facilitative and a predictable framework, and that's what businesses are looking for. They need certainty, a certainty of tariff regime, a certainty of regulations. I think that's what this legally binding agreement is providing. In terms of sectoral interests, I think it covers a large amount of trade in goods, both agri and non-agri sector. And for all of your information, the agreement is up on the website, so you could have a look at the schedules which are there, and each of the sector analysis. I think quite a few of impact analysis is also being given. In terms of spin-off effects, obviously when businesses are looking for certainty, I think the trade is going to definitely go up. We are looking in terms of doubling of the trade by 2030. And then also it'll rope in investments, because in sectors of the future, and when this certain regime is there, I think investments are going to really go up. There are mechanisms built in terms of joint committees in various chapters, so the policy areas. In terms of, I think we would come with this as it moves. Right now, different sectors of interest, because industry also has expressed interest, and to convert into numbers, I think it will take little time, because they are also looking in terms of what reductions are there, eliminations immediately or phased reductions. So for their calculations as well, I think they need to look at where the details are available today. So as I mentioned, the joint committees do exist in across the policy areas where they would meet, and then whatever issues in terms of barriers which they see for trade, they would be addressed. Services, I think, is an important area. I mean, it's in terms of both economies are services, largely services dependent. Therefore, here we have deep commitments coming in areas of interest on both sides, whether it is financial services or insurance services, telecom or transport, travel, IT, ITS. I think from our side, IT, ITS is one of the large. So it covers all modes of engagement and aspects of mobility, professional services, other business services. So deep commitments have been made. I think this is the brief from my side.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. Aditi from Press Trust of India. So if you could perhaps elaborate a little bit on the discussion on counterterrorism. Pro-Khalistani extremism was an issue that had been recognized. Is that something that's still on the agenda? Is there a recognition of that as an issue as well? And a second question, if I may, for you, sir, about the DCC, which I think was mentioned will come into force along with the FTA. We were given to understand that at the moment only a legal understanding has been made and the negotiations continue. So if you could just give us a little bit of an elaboration on that. Thank you.
Please.
Hello, my name is Lavina Tandon from India Today and Aaj Tak. In the light of launching the ball between the swing and the miss and the straight bat metaphor, may I just ask, what was the response of Sir Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, on the swift action on Khalistan issue or any such matters of law and order that caused disturbance in both the countries? economic offenders, what was the response? And also, did the response of India in Pahalgam discussed, and what was the response? Does the Prime Minister or the country stand on our side, or endorses, if I can say? They don't have the right to endorse, but do they stand on our side in any way? Thank you.
Aditya?
सर नमस्कार, मेरा नाम आरेंद्र है, मैं दूरदर्शन न्यूज़ से हूँ। विज़न 2035 डॉक्यूमेंट में क्या नया है, थोड़ा सा अगर उस पर विस्तार आप दे सकें, और डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल रोड मैप में क्या विस्तार रहेगा, कैसे इसको ज़मीन पर उतारा जाएगा, इस पर आप थोड़ा सा जानकारी दे सकें।
Please.
Hello, Muvija from Reuters. Sorry, if I may, I just had one question on the US-India trade negotiations. I just wondered if at all an interim deal could be reached by August 1. I know it was a deadline that was set by the Washington administration, but I just wanted to check that. And also one on the UK-India trade deal, which is, so I appreciate that the carbon border adjustment mechanism was not part of the deal, but is it something that the Indian government is still pursuing? Because just after the trade deal is signed and as part of further progress.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Sir?
Okay. Let me go back first to, I think in the earlier set of questions, there was a question on state of cooperation on organized crime and illegal migration that had been referred to. There is between India and the UK an agreement on mobility and migration, which includes cooperation in facilitating the return of undocumented and illegal migrants. This is working well. There have been some innovations on this as well that have been agreed recently, and it's proceeding well. We also have between us a unique young professionals scheme, about 3,000 visas per year. Indians and UK nationals can travel to each other's country for up to 2 years. And there is also cooperation in simplifying normal travel visas. We have on every occasion that we've had for discussion with our UK counterparts emphasized that the government of India is clearly against illegal migration, and we have worked in the past and continue to work with our partners on this issue, including for the purpose of repatriating such illegal immigrants. At the same time, we both recognize that the exchange of human resources and access to talent and skilled human resources is an advantage for both economies, and encouraging and promoting that is in the interests of both countries. And some of the agreements and understandings that you see in the process of being reached are aimed precisely at that. On these questions related to the discussions today on extremists and on counterterrorism, as well as economic offenders, let me say with regard to the activities of extremists, we shared our thoughts and views. We've noted the fact that they are increasingly active, have in the past and continue to threaten the safety and security of our diplomatic missions and personnel, inciting violence against our leaders and against our diplomats. This issue was discussed, and we have engaged at several levels on these matters with our UK counterparts. And I would say that we have received cooperation as well on these matters, and including during this specific visit, we have received cooperation from our UK partners on addressing these issues. So I'm sure that this will continue in the future. On terrorism and on economic offenders, I've already mentioned that we've continued to bring our concerns to the attention of UK authorities. As far as economic offenders are concerned, we understand wherever there are legal processes to be entered or to be carried through, we expect that those legal processes will be taken to their conclusion in an expedited manner so that justice can be served. On the defense industrial roadmap, जो आपका प्रश्न था, तो डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल रोड मैप एक सहमति दोनों देशों के बीच बनी है जो रक्षा सामग्री है उसके उत्पादन में कैसे दोनों देश एक दूसरे की सहायता कर सकते हैं रक्षा सामग्री और जो उत्कृष्ट तकनीक से बनी रक्षा की सामग्री है उसमें कैसे दोनों देश एक दूसरे की सहायता कर सकते हैं और इसमें प्राइवेट और पब्लिक सेक्टर के जो एंटिटीज़ हैं दोनों देशों में वो कैसे एक दूसरे से जुड़ सकते हैं नए डिफेंस टेक्नोलॉजीज़ और प्रोडक्ट्स के उत्पादन के लिए उनके डिज़ाइन के लिए उनकी मार्केटिंग और उनके डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए एक दूसरे के लिए ही नहीं लेकिन पूरे विश्व भर में कैसे उसको उस पर काम किया जा सकता है और इस रोड मैप से दोनों देशों के बीच जो अभी तक काम चल रहा है उसको और बढ़ावा मिलेगा और जो एक तरह से इंस्टीट्यूशनल लिंक्स हैं दोनों देशों के बीच वो आगे बढ़ाए जाएंगे ऑन Vision 2035 as well. Vision 2035 is really built around 4 or 5 major pillars, and then there are a lot of activities that have been planned under that. It's in the areas of economy and trade, technology and innovation, defense and security, climate and energy, education, and people-to-people contact. Several of these subjects were discussed extensively between the two prime ministers today during their restricted talks as well as during lunch as well. For instance, there was a discussion on possible cooperation in the field of space, on startups, in the emerging technologies area, a discussion on AI and telecom, how that could be taken forward. There was a discussion on the priorities that both sides had on technology and innovation and what both countries were doing in their respective areas on this. On climate and clean energy as well, the kinds of things that were underway. Prime Minister spoke about the fact that some of our renewable energy goals that were set for 2030 had been achieved 5 or 6 years ahead of schedule. Both leaders spoke about the green energy projects that are underway in their respective countries. So this was, in a sense, a curtain raiser for the kinds of things that will be progressed under the Vision 2035 document. On the US-India trade deal, I have mentioned earlier, we are discussing that under a different vertical. All I can say is that our engagement is underway, the contacts are underway, and we'll see how that goes.
So,
yeah, with regard to DCC double contribution convention, we have arrived at an understanding that is the convention would come into effect along with the FTA coming into force. So both would be together implemented. 2, that the exemption period on which this contribution would be exempted is for a period of 3 years. And we also have agreed upon electronic exchange of certification for enabling this. So all the key elements stand, cleared, or clear understanding has emerged on it. And the rest of the part in terms of in the coming year, we would have the text that will be ready, and by the time CETA is ratified, this would be in place. In terms of CBAM, you are aware of a position on CBAM, wherein it is still not in place in UK, it will come in the future. But if we see that it does have an adverse effect, there are enough measures which would be taken, and as and when it comes into play and then we see an adverse effect, we would have appropriate measures to address those concerns.
Thank you, sir. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this press briefing. Thank you very much for your presence.
तो आप ये विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस देख रहे थे। विदेश सचिव विक्रम मिस्री बता रहे थे कि पीएम मोदी के ब्रिटेन दौरे के दौरान क्या कुछ हुआ। जो महत्वपूर्ण बिंदु उन्होंने बताए, दोनों देशों के बीच में व्यापार समझौता हुआ है, आतंकवाद को लेकर के बातचीत हुई है, आर्थिक रूप से जो भगोड़े अपराधी हैं उनको लेकर के बातचीत हुई है, जो खालिस्तानी एक्सट्रीमिज्म है वहाँ पर उसको लेकर भी बातचीत हुई है। तो इस कार्यक्रम में फिलहाल इतना ही। आप बने रहिए डीडी न्यूज़ के साथ। नमस्कार।
दम आलू कैसे बना? और दाल तड़का भी, और मशरूम मसाला भी। बिना MDH मसालों के टेस्टी खाना कैसे बनेगा? MDH दम आलू, दाल तड़का और मशरूम मसाला। MDH से खाना हर बार मजेदार। मस्त है, सरस है। उड़ी बाबा। MDH सदा आपको नए स्वाद देने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। MDH।
सर, बीड़ी पुलाव ट्राई करो, मस्त है।
कैसा है? अरे उसको काहे को बुरता है? टिप्स इग्नोर करने का, अपना दिमाग लगाकर ऑर्डर देने का।
मार्केट का स्टॉक टिप्स बहुत लोग देता है, डेंजरस हो सकता है। कंपनी और रिस्क पूरा समझने का, फिर इन्वेस्ट करने का।
बोल बोल के थक गया। क्या हुआ? नया किडबैक चाहिए तो पहले कैप्टन से बोलो, नहीं सुना तो मैनेजर से। करेक्ट। तो ऐसे ही पहले शिकायत बैंक से करें, 30 दिनों में जवाब या समाधान ना मिलने पर CMS पोर्टल पे शिकायत करें। तो पहले बैंक फिर CMS पोर्टल, नहीं तो शिकायत होगी नामंजूर। चले ले आ गया ना किडबैक। RBI कहता है
पहले अपना बैंक फिर RBI ओम्बुड्समैन।
जब धरती चीर कर निकलता है लोहे का पत्थर और मिलता है मोंगिया के जोश से, फिर तपता है, पिघलता है और बनता है फौलाद। अब होता है सरिया सारी खूबियों के साथ। मोंगिया स्टील, मजबूत देश का मजबूत सरिया।
एक मिनट।
क्या हुआ?
अभी से इतना खर्चा करोगे तो मेरी पढ़ाई का क्या करोगे?
तुमने पहले ही लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का चाइल्ड प्लान सोच रखा है, इसकी हुआ।
बढ़िया है।
सपनों को रखो सुरक्षित चाइल्ड प्लान के साथ। सबसे पहले लाइफ इंश्योरेंस।